Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to my second, one of my first official Periscopes. If you see this live, share it with your friends. If you watch the replay, share it with your friends. I think it'll be something really encouraging, something really helpful for you. Let's do this. As time goes on, as you live life, I find this to be really, really helpful. So, my name is Sean. I am a father, I'm a son, I'm a husband. I am a lot of things. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a graphic designer, I'm all kinds of things. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I have a relationship with him. I don't have a religion, so forth and so on. So enough about me. You're watching this because you want to learn how to stay on top. And the truth of the matter is, we all do. We all want something that we can hold on to. What time is it? 11:13. I got a little bit of time here. So come on in. Let's wait for a few more people to come on in. If they do, if they don't, so be it. But anyway, I want to be serious. I've been online before, Facebook, kind of joking around, playing, but I want to be serious for a minute. I like to read. I like to watch movies. I like to be inspired by a lot of different things that I see. I like to let the creative process work the best way as possibly can. So to do that, when I do that, I learn a lot. You know, a lot of things that I can share with other people, a lot of things I can apply to my very own life. Excuse me. But I think it's really interesting things that you learn when you look at things from a different angle. I heard somebody say when you don't fit in, you're forced to look at things from a different perspective, or you're forced to look at things from a different perspective. But when it comes to success in life, this is something that we all strive for. When I was younger, I was depressed a lot, and I believed that life or success was pointless because of the phrase, we ought to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not necessarily have happiness, but just to pursue it. And I thought that pursuit was pointless. But anyway, I'm going to try not to ramble and get to the point. How to stay on top. The way you stay on top is it's actually quite simple. Staying on top is not about having things. It's about being that person that have things. What do I mean by that? You've heard stories about people who, I said this before, people who have money or people that don't have money. You know, they live a pretty decent life. A lot of people say some poor people live a very happy life. I grew up poor, not rich. I don't even know, honestly, because we were good. You know, we loved each other. We, we had our fights and we had our issues and things like that, but everything was pretty decent. For the most part. It could have been worse. So I don't know what kind of financial status we had, but there was some times where we went without. There were some times I went to bed hungry. A lot of times it's because I ate all the food by myself because I was bored. So when dinner time came, there was really nothing to eat or something like that. I don't know. But you hear those stories about poor people who live pretty well. Then you hear stories about rich people who have a lot of friends. No matter where they go, they have a lot of friends. I was watching an interview earlier where Birdman came to a radio station, and this man has a lot of money, and of course he had an entourage of friends with him. And I asked myself the question, like, okay, well, if he didn't have those friends, if he didn't have all that money, would all those people be there with him? Would all those people be around him? Or you look at the MC Hammer situation. He had money. He had a lot of money. He also had a lot of friends that he felt it was necessary to take care of him, to take care of them. And what happened was he lost his money, and he lost his friends. He lost his support system. He lost everything because he didn't have any money. Reason being probably because he wasn't. He was somebody that had, but he wasn't. And that's what I'm going to talk about. How do you stay on top? When you find yourself in a position where you may not get $1 million, but you have something that influences people. Watch this. You have something that influences people. The ideal thing is when you have some things, instead of focusing on the things that you have, because people are going to follow things. It happens. But why not work towards, instead of working towards establishing things, instead of work towards establishing money? Everybody has this plan. Oh, well, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. The truth of the matter is, I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't want to be a billionaire. What I want to be is, I want to be a type of person that's worth $1 billion. So a type of person that knows how to make $1 million, knows how to make $1 billion. The reason why is because, and shout out to Eric Thomas, because this is where I got this from. I want to be in a position where if I had $100,000 and you wipe my bank account clean, I'm going to be mad because you wiped my bank account clean, but I'm not going to be devastated. You know why? Because I was that person that made that $100,000. So yes, I'll be mad that you took it, but that's the only thing I'm going to be mad about, because I can always make that money all over again because of who I am. Because I am that person that can make that type of money. I am that person that have those type of values that it takes to become a $100,000-aire. That I am that person that have that value that can generate $1 million or can generate $1 billion. So once I become that person, no matter where I am, no matter what I am, no matter what's going on in my life, because that's who I am, that's when I'm going to produce. You produce who you are, not the things that you have. You produce who you really are. So if I have the mindset of a poor person, no matter what, I'm always going to be poor because that's who I am. You take that phrase that they use, you can take the ghetto out of the person, but you can't take the person out of the ghetto or the country or whatever the case may be. You got to have that same mindset when it comes to success, or when it comes to financial security. When you become that person, you have to become somebody that's financially secure. Truth of the matter is, you don't get that by a job. Okay? Because the job is not paying you for the things that you have. The job is paying you for who you are or who you're going to become. You go to school to become a real estate agent. You go to school to become a nurse. You know, you go to school to get the education that's necessary. So whatever it is that you want to be, get that education. And I'm not saying that education is necessarily in a college or a university or online university or whatever. That education can come from a book that you read. That education could come from you being in some type of mentorship program. That education can come from all kinds of different sources. But the reason why you get that education is so that you can become something of value. You have to be the value, not the things that you can, not things, not physical things. These things are not, these are just things. The real power is in you becoming the valuable one. Who you are is the valuable one. Let's take a look at some celebrities for a second. Ray J, Brandy's little brother, the one that got re-famous with Kim Kardashian, or whatever the case may be. Now, he doesn't have any record-selling albums, any platinum albums, I don't think. He did a few albums here and there, and some of them got famous. But you know what made him so powerful? What made him, because of he's a party goer. He's a party person. Ray J is definitely a party person. So much so that no matter what he does, a club owner or a club promoter will pay him thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars just to come to their club. Because they know if he's there, because of who he is, he can go there empty-handed. He don't have to bring an album. He don't have to sing a song. But because of who he is, the influence that he is, because he's a party person, they know that if he's there, they're going to make a lot of money. Why? Because that's who he is. And you can wipe his bank account clean. They're still going to keep calling him. You understand that when you become that person of value, money is not an issue. Money will never, ever, 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 ever be an issue, because people will pay you for your value. People don't pay you for the things that you have. People pay you for your value. Like I said, I'm a graphic designer earlier, and I had a situation where a client of mine wanted some tickets to something. And the reason why she came to me in the first place is because I did her tickets last year and she enjoyed what I was able to do. Now, this time around, I'm going to be honest, I didn't deliver like I should have delivered. And she was texting me, and I admittedly ignored the text. Because I'm like, oh God. Because she got to the point where she wanted a refund. The reason why is because I didn't show her who I wasn't being that person that she knows me to be, that she invested her money and she paid me, said, okay, this is what I want. She paid me first, and then for me to do the work. Usually I would do the work and then they pay me. This time she paid me first. And that's the big thing, because last time she didn't know who I was. So she said, okay, well, let me see the work that he does first. I showed her the work that I was able to do, and then she paid me. The second time around, now she knows who I am, so she paid me first. And then I was supposed to bring her the product that she asked for. She paid me. She didn't pay my product. She paid me. But long story short, business went bad for something I relied on, timing or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to make an excuse. But she paid me first. And no matter what you do in this life, I was talking to somebody earlier on Periscope, and she said she was starting out doing something. And I told her, I said, well, become an expert at that. Because when you become an expert, you become very valuable. Whatever it is you do, when you become an expert, you become very valuable, and people will pay you for your value. So anyway, I don't see any viewers in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and close it with that. I'll have more to share at another time, another date. So with that being said, you guys have a great and a wonderful night. God bless you. And until next time.